I left town for just 3 days to go pick up a rescue dog. When I came back, I found balloons everywhere. Congrats on your new studio, Chloe, they said. My room was gone. All my stuff thrown into trash bags. Dad didn't seem to care. She needs this more than you, he said. Don't be selfish. That night, I slept on a cot in the garage with my dog. The next morning, I checked my phone. $3,800 charged to my credit card. I hadn't spent it, Chloe had. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I just left. 3 months later, I got a legal notice because of what I did next. Here's what really happened. When I walked into the house, it felt strange. My room was gone. There was a banner over the door. Welcome to your new creative space, Chloe. My bed. Gone. Desk. Replaced with a vanity and ring light. My books were stuffed into trash bags behind the garage. I asked Dad, why is all my stuff in bags? He didn't even look up from his phone. She needs this space more than you, he said again. Don't be selfish. Then Chloe popped out of her new room, holding a paintbrush and her iPad. Doesn't it feel lighter now? She said, smiling. Oh, I used your credit card. Hope that's okay. It was saved on my laptop. I checked. $3,800 gone. Spent on things like vision boards and a chandelier. For a room with cheap ceilings and glitter pens. I didn't say a word. I just went to the garage, pulled out Grandpa's old cot and tried to sleep next to my dog. That night I realized the truth. This wasn't my home. I was just filling space. For almost a year I paid for everything. Mortgage. Groceries. Streaming. Car insurance. Even though I didn't really live there anymore, I still helped. Chloe? She hadn't kept a real job in years. First it was mental health. Then, the art collective doesn't match my values. Then going freelance. Dad called it finding herself. Mom called it growth. I called it what it was, freeloading. So I stayed quiet. Until that one weekend. The one with the balloons. I left for 3 days to get a dog from Portland. They begged me not to adopt locally. Wait, Dad said. We know someone with the perfect match. When I got back. No bed. No room. No warning. Chloe had used my emergency credit card. The one meant for real emergencies. She used it for decorations, furniture, and even a chandelier. I texted her, "You used my card." She replied, "It's art, not spending." Then, "Don't make this a thing." And finally, Mom said it was okay. That last one hit the hardest. I walked into the kitchen. Dad was reading the newspaper. I asked, "Did you know?" He folded the paper and said, "It's just money. She's building something real. You wouldn't understand." "You mean a career?" I asked. "No. A platform," he said. Mom added, "You work on a laptop. It's not the same." That stung. Then Chloe went full influencer. She posted a video showing off her new studio. My old room. Her caption, "Turning childhood trauma into creative space." People online loved it. "Queen, you deserve this." Yes, take up space. She even started a podcast from my old closet. Renamed the Wi-Fi, Chloe's Studio Vibes. But the worst part? A message from my bank. Suspicious activity. A $2,000 transfer request. To Art Therapy Services LC. A company I'd never heard of. Turns out it was Chloe's friend's healing business. They made journals for generational trauma. Chloe gave them my money. So I didn't scream. Didn't fight. Instead, I opened the old iPad that she forgot was still connected to my iCloud. I found it all. Messages. Notes. Screenshots. A Google Doc titled, Phase 2, Moving Forward Without Guilt. Chloe had written a note. "He'll come back. He always does. If he gets weird, say talking about money is too hard. Mom and Dad will back me up. He's not even using the room, he has his own apartment. This is about setting boundaries. Don't let him make you feel guilty. If he says he'll cancel the card, say you're cutting contact. He won't want to look bad online." But that wasn't the worst part. The worst was a short voice message. Only 18 seconds long. It was Dad's voice talking in the middle of a conversation. He's always been like this. Controlling. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe he's jealous. She actually has a purpose. Then Chloe said, "He doesn't even like people. I think he's one of those quiet narcissists. My own father. My own sister. calling me names, judging me, spending my money and making me the bad guy in their little story. And Mom was laughing in the background. I saved everything. The voice message, Google Docs, screenshots, browser history, payment records, the receipt for the chandelier. I put it all on a flash drive shaped like a paintbrush, Chloe's gift to me last Christmas. Because you never create anything, she joked. Maybe this will inspire you. It did inspire me. To show the truth. And I knew exactly when to do it. At Sunday dinner, Chloe's art launch party. She invited about 20 people, mostly her online friends and our neighbors. Mom was cooking. Dad was watching the door. They thought it was a happy celebration. I was planning to reveal the truth. The party felt like a show. Fairy lights in the backyard. A mocktail bar on the patio. Soft music about healing and letting go. Chloe floated around barefoot and glowing wearing my hoodie, the one I thought was lost. She cut off the sleeves and called it reclaimed. Guests drank and praised her bravery. Someone asked Dad what inspired Chloe's art. He smiled and said, "She's been through a lot. This room is her safe place. We're just supporting her. Supporting. With my money, my room, my life." They had no idea what was coming. I waited until dessert. Mom put a tray of lavender cupcakes on the table. Chloe opened candles from a girl with a septum ring and an Etsy shop. Then I stood up. "I want to say something." The room got quiet. Chloe blinked, surprised. "Tow's not the time," she started. I raised my hand. "Thank you all for coming. Tonight is special. We're here to celebrate healing, truth, and art. Since we're about truth, I brought some." I took a small Bluetooth speaker from my jacket, put it on the table, turned it up. Then I pressed play. Dad's voice filled the room. He's always been like this. Controlling. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe he's jealous. She actually has purpose. Chloe's voice followed, sharp and proud. He doesn't even like people. I think he's one of those quiet narcissists. Mom laughed in the background. No one moved. Then I pulled the flash drive from my pocket, holding it like proof in court. This is just the start. There's more. Texts, money records, screenshots of the card you used to buy $500 worth of fancy decorations. And the Google Doc you made, Chloe, the one called Phase 2, moving forward without guilt. Want to guess how many people have seen it now? Chloe froze. "You're making a scene," she said. "Oh," I replied, "I haven't even started." I tapped my phone and played a voice memo. Mom's voice came through. "Let him throw a tantrum. He'll get over it. He always does." Someone in the back whispered, "What is going on?" Dad finally snapped. "Turn that off. This is Chloe's night." "No, Dad. This was my room. My money. My name on the card. And all of you treated me like furniture, easy to toss out when you redecorated." Chloe stormed over, face red. "You're trying to ruin me. You're just jealous." I stayed calm. "No. I'm just telling the truth. And don't worry, I already sent the recordings to your podcast sponsors. I'm sure they'll love hearing about the credit card fraud and fake trauma." She gasped, like someone cut her spotlight. Then the doorbell rang. Perfect timing. I opened the door. It was Jordan, her ex. The one she accused of being toxic and controlling on her podcast. He looked calm. Cold even. In his hand, a manila folder. I stepped aside. "Evening," he said. "Sorry to interrupt. Chloe, I'm here to set the record straight." He held up the folder. "It's all here. Every transaction, message, and voice note you faked. Including the one where you told your friend I'd call him abusive if he didn't Venmo me rent." Chloe's lips shook. Mom tried to jump in. "Let's talk about this as a family, okay?" Jordan cut her off. "I'm not family. I'm just one of the people your daughter stepped on to build her victim story." Then he looked at me. "I got your message. I wasn't sure if it was real. But it was." He turned back to Chloe. "You ruined my interviews. You called my girlfriend's job and lied. Now you'll see what it feels like when the truth comes back." He handed her the folder. "You've been served." The room went silent. Guests started heading for the door. Someone mumbled, "I didn't sign up for this." Dad shouted, "Get out of my house." I turned to him slowly. "It's not your house. The mortgage is in my name. I checked last month. You never updated it. Also, every bill set to autopay? Cancelled yesterday. He rushed toward me. I didn't move. Touch me and I'll play the voicemail you left. After Chloe used my card. The one where you said I was a financial mistake born too early. Want the guests to hear that? He froze. I walked to the door, paused and looked back. Oh, and the dog? He's mine. But he's the only one here who actually deserves this home. Then I looked straight at Chloe. I left for 3 days to pick up something loyal. I came back to betrayal. And I left. I didn't look back. Didn't go back. Not that night. Not ever. I left Chloe's party and walked until my legs hurt. Slept on the floor of a half-furnished rental. No bed. No curtains. Just my dog and quiet. For the first time in years, no one asked me for anything. I didn't post. Didn't explain. Didn't defend myself. I just disappeared. 3 days passed. No calls. No messages. Not even from Mom. On the 4th day I got a letter. No name, no return address. Inside, a handwritten note. You've made your point. We get it. But if you keep going, don't expect us to just watch this family fall apart. No signature, but I knew Dad's handwriting. He always made his G's look like 6s. That same day I got an email from a lawyer. A real one. Chloe had filed a complaint. She claimed emotional damage, theft of creative work and spying. The case had no real weight. But it wasn't about winning. It was about shaking me. I sent it to my lawyer Harris. He read it and replied with just 2 words. Let them. So I did. Let them talk. Let them twist the story. Let them play the victim. I stayed quiet. I got a new number. Only work contacts have it. Switched banks. Cancelled every shared account. Shut down the credit card Chloe used. A week later another letter came. This time from Mom. You've hurt your sister more than you know. She's not eating. She's not sleeping. You broke something. I read it once. Then tore it in half. Chloe hadn't broken. She had landed right where her lies finally caught up. They never thought anyone would let her fall. A week later I saw Dad at the grocery store. He didn't notice me, or maybe he pretended not to. He stood alone in line with a box of cheap cereal and a pack of batteries. His shirt was wrinkled. His face looked pale. He seemed smaller than I remembered. Not weak, just exposed, like he wasn't pretending anymore. I didn't say anything. I just watched him fumble with his card at the register, then walk out slowly, like he couldn't believe what he had lost. 2 days later there was a knock on my door. It was Mom. Her hair was tied back. No makeup. She held a casserole dish like she was still pretending everything could be fixed. I didn't open the door. I spoke through it. What do you want? I just want to talk. No, you don't. You're here to fight. You just call it love. She went quiet for a second, then said softly, she's still your sister. I laughed once, low and bitter. No, Mom. She was your project. I was your backup plan. I locked the door. She didn't knock again. 3 weeks passed. Life went on. I walked my dog every morning. Drank black coffee in old mugs. Didn't say hello to neighbors. Didn't answer calls from numbers I didn't know. And then something strange happened. I stopped caring. Not pretending. Not pushing it down. I just stopped wondering what they were saying. Stopped checking Chloe's podcast. Stopped replaying old voice memos. One day I realized I hadn't even thought about them until lunchtime. And when I finally did, I didn't feel angry. I felt free. I wasn't part of their mess anymore. I wasn't waiting to be needed or blamed. I was just out. And that felt like peace. It took 3 months for silence to stop feeling like punishment and start feeling like protection. I didn't speak to Chloe. Didn't talk to my parents. Dad sent one email asking if I could be the bigger person. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. I had already won. Not with revenge. Not with proof. But by walking away. I erased myself from the story they used to control me. No more holidays. No more group chats. No more were family guilt trips. Then I got a letter. Handwritten. This time from Chloe. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know I'm in real therapy now. The kind that hurts. You were right about a lot. I don't blame you for leaving. I would have left too. I read it once. Then put it in a drawer I never open. Because when someone lies for years, even their apologies sound fake. The next day I went back to the old house. Not to talk. Not to reconnect. I just wanted one thing they never returned: my hard drive. It was still in the garage where I slept that night after Chloe took my room. I found it in a drawer. Dusty. Forgotten. Still plugged in, like someone tried to open it and couldn't. I took it and left. They didn't see me. They didn't even know I came. I liked it that way. That night I sat on the floor with my dog. I opened the hard drive. Inside was everything. Messages, receipts, voice memos. Proof that I wasn't crazy. Proof that it really happened. I could have done anything with it. Sent it to Chloe's podcast sponsors. Emailed it to Dad's old job. Printed it and taped it to their front door. But I didn't. Instead, I opened a blank Word document and wrote one sentence. I am not responsible for the lies people tell about me to feel whole. Then I erased the drive. Formatted. Deleted. Gone. Not because they deserved forgiveness, but because I deserved peace. The next morning I went to the bank. Changed my emergency contact from mom to a coworker. Updated my health insurance. Removed my mother's number from everything. As I left the bank, I passed a street vendor selling handmade keychains. One caught my eye. A small metal tag that said, "Do not return to sender." I bought it and clipped it to my keys. That afternoon I did one last thing. I turned off my phone. Removed the SIM card. Snapped it in half. Put in a new one. New number. No forwarding. No goodbyes. Because closure isn't a conversation. It's a decision. And I chose peace. No more explaining. No more helping. No more pretending that family means love when it really meant control. They can call me selfish. They always did. But now there's no one left who gets to say it.